Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to your 5 minute LFC update, which usually lasts about 15. I'm Gav. I'm your only man here tonight, and we're just going to go through a few bits. We usually have shows at 10 o'clock every night. I'm throwing this one in at 9:30 because we are doing something a little bit different at 10 o'clock, and we will be back throughout the week with more content for you. Starting off pre season, August 15th, it's been announced. Liverpool are hoping to go to Evian for a pre season tour or a pre season camp. We don't know if that's 100% going to happen, but look, it's one of those where we have to wait and see. But August the 15th is the date that Jurgen Klopp will have the lads back and ready to go and retain the title, basically. And it's definitely what we're going to do. Comments are going to come in here. I'm going to try to keep up with them. It's hard over a 10-minute period or so, but I will try for you. Chris Brack says, even in Champions, just sign Willian, Sancho, Thiago, Coutinho, and Ake. Easy, honestly. Yeah, I can see that happening. Just following on from the pre-season stuff. Melwood, we're staying at Melwood for the foreseeable, I suppose. And we were talking to David Lynch a couple of weeks ago from the Evening Standard, and he was saying that Kirby is a little behind, obviously because of the coronavirus and the pandemic, and shut down in construction for a certain amount of time. The date we were meant to be moving in was possibly around now, but it's being put back. As far as I've read, we still have a 1 year lease on Melwood, so we're going to use that for the foreseeable because Liverpool are looking for the smoothest transition possible from Melwood to Kirby. So it's one of those things where it makes absolute sense, and it's just the way it is. You can't tell them to get it done quicker at Kirby, especially if you want a smooth transition. Shawnee Lawson says, give Bruce their games next year. I presume he scored in that playoff. I think they were 3-0 down. He might have got it back to 3-1, so there's only a goal in it. I don't think away goals count on that, do they? They just go, they'd be going to penalties or extra time or whatever. But yeah, listen, he's having a brilliant season with Swansea, and he's doing everything he can to get into Jurgen Klopp's thoughts, and why not give him a go, especially if we can get some pre-season games into him and see how he gets on. If you're watching, there is a few of you watching there, like Maverick, Shawnee, Chris, Kev, David Walsh, Nikki. Just hit the like button, please. Share it across your social media. We've done a tweet, as always, on our Twitter page, so if you can just find that, it's on the top of our timeline, and just hit a retweet for us as well. What's got next? Thomas Gronemark. This is the throw-in coach fella. His contract is up, but Liverpool are in discussions over a new deal. He spent the last 2 years at Liverpool on a part-time basis, but it looks like Liverpool are trying to retain his services going forward. That's just a little snippet. The academy reopens next week for the under-18s and the under-23s, which is great to see. It's another step back to normality. I know a lot of people don't pay a hell of a lot of attention to the 18s or 23s, unless you're betting to LFC TV. But to see this, we've seen top flight football come back, and we've seen, it's been all about getting through Premier League seasons and FA Cups and Champions Leagues. But to see underage football coming back is a huge sign of getting back to some sort of normality as well. So, it's going to be it's good to have them back, and it's good for them. Listen, they're young lads trying to make a way in the game, and to be taking out football for longer than the pros are, it must be hard. Let me see. C. Holbrook says Brewster has got to be livelier than Origi from the bench. From the bench, I'm not too sure. From the start, yeah, we may see. Let me see. Maverick says 3-2 Brentford. Is that overall, or is it 3-2 on the night? Let me know. Barry Devaney says, young lad from his hometown just signed a pro contract, Connor Bradley. Things you love to see, absolutely. Players coming through signing proper pro contracts, you can't go wrong for them, really. I'm on 4 minutes 24 seconds. We're never going to make the 5 minutes on this because there's too much to talk about. Loads of people are asking about transfers, and listen, Chris Brack said it's 3-2 on aggregate in that game, so live updates as we go. But a load of people are talking about transfers and stuff like that. We are launching a new show tomorrow night from 10 o'clock, which is going to bring you through the summer. With regards to transfers, we're not going to talk about anything else on the show but transfers. It could be Liverpool, it can be United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Barcelona, whoever. We are going to have an agenda. That's why we called it the Transfer Agenda Show, because there will be an agenda which we'll have X amount of names on it. But the viewers drive these shows. They always have, they always will, and they're the most important part of it. So if viewers have names that they'd like thrown out there, they might want to educate us on certain players, or they might have a team that has a decent player, or what do you think, I don't know, Leeds might do when they come up. Absolutely go and throw it into the chat. Absolutely go and throw it into the chat. that's what it's all about. That'll start tomorrow night, and I'll give you a few more details when we get to the end of this show in about 6 minutes time, I'd say. Sure, in no hurry. Let me see. Massa Kaniga says FSG out. Yeah, why? Let me know why. Let me see. Keep Plunkett is sending in the googly eyes. He must have heard something, but yeah, it's not. Will Grizz stick to the agenda? Asked Chris Brack. No, no. I've tried to make it a structured show, and I was given the name. Call it the Transfer Agenda Show because people will stick to a structure. Then I said, okay, let's go with that. And he won't. He'll go off telling you about left backs. He's watching the German second division on his IPTV. So no, he won't. Up the United. Yeah. He has some comments, and let me just say he's gone because he's childish and he wants to mock the dead people. So he's no longer here. Let me see. Yeah, so transfers, right? So just a quick thing. We will be covering loads of these tomorrow night, but just quickly on them. Sancho, loads of varying reports. You know, United have tabled 98 million. They'll go back and pay more. He will get done. Sancho has his heart set on United. Then no, Sancho wants Liverpool. Liverpool are looking for a pre-deal for next season because they can't afford him, I presume, on top of what they're going to do in the summer. But Sancho one is all over the shop. I expect him to go to United. I can't see him hanging on at Dortmund for another year, even with a promise of Liverpool. I think the money is absolutely off the wall for this deal. If truth is to be believed, he's going to be paid as much as David De Gea. And although David De Gea is probably not worth it at the moment, it's a shitload of money, lads. So I can't see it. I can't see it happening. Maverick says the transfers for Liverpool will be in silence. I love it. Yeah, I love when clubs just turn and go, oh, we signed him, by the way, lads. But it's hard to do anything in silence when there's absolute maniacs on social media giving out at 12 and at 1 and at 2 and at 3 in the day because we haven't signed anybody, which is, it's just mad. You know, people with champions written all over their Twitter accounts and then just constantly giving out about one of the main reasons we are champions, and they are one of the main reasons we are champions. Don't let anybody fool you. Coutinho is still in linked for some reason. He is apparently open to a Premier League move, whether that be a loan or permanent. Liverpool are still being linked. I can tell you that they are still being linked, and a few people have said to me, Gav, that one's not done. That one's not. You know, I wouldn't completely dismiss that. So watch out because Coutinho's talk on Coutinho is going to, I'd say, ramp up in the next 5 to 7 days because I know Arsenal are interested and I know Spurs are interested as well. So will Liverpool do it? I don't know. I really don't know if they'll do it. But I still think Liverpool might be in the conversation, and I hope they are because he's fucking deadly. Let me see. Chris reckons we will look for the next Sancho from the Red Bull clubs. We may do. Paul Hardwick reckons we won't be signing anyone of note, unfortunately. I disagree with you, Paul. I had a feeling in my waters today, and it was just in my waters. It wasn't anybody ringing me or telling me or giving me any mad blag info. I have a feeling in my waters that is not going to be the case. Thiago Alcantara is always on the radar, isn't he? It never stops. But I'm a bit sceptical on this one. Now, Grizz is absolutely adamant that Liverpool are in talks with Bayern Munich. They're going well. He will be a Liverpool player. But if reports that come out today are true, where Bayern have named the price of 30 million euros, if that's actually true and whoever's reported this are reliable and Bayern have fed that, Liverpool haven't even sent a call me message to Bayern Munich, in my opinion. So it's one of those. It all depends how reliable that is. But Thiago, for me, Shawnee said to me earlier, Gav, there's an old saying, if Bayern are selling, don't buy, which is fair point. But I think Bayern are selling without wanting to sell. So me and Shawnee are a bit of loggerheads there, but we get over it because we like each other. So there you go. So the Thiago thing is a bit strange. Anything else? I'm going to throw it over to the group now. Kevin Sullivan says I'm going to call him our AOUAR or our makes more sense. Never really seen much of him. I'm not going to pretend I have. A lot of people seem to rate him. Maverick says there is no way Phil is coming back because of the way he was sold. Edwards monetized every aspect of the sale, so it would be financial madness to bring him back. Very good point. The only thing I would say is if, like, Liverpool could be on money by Barcelona, there could be knock-on effects if he plays for X team or he goes somewhere else. There could be something like that, Maverick. But if Liverpool feel that the deal is there, they might. I genuinely don't think it comes down to the way he left. I know you're not saying that, Maverick, but I don't think it comes down to the way he left. I'm being honest. I think it'll come down to football reasons. And again, you could be absolutely spot on. Liverpool have too much to lose by actually paying out for Philippe Coutinho because Edwards absolutely just jacked up the interest everywhere, all over the shop on that. You know, if he tied his left legs before his right, Liverpool got £1 million and stuff like that. Let me see. Stephen Mack says, Stardy Gav, this 5 minutes is more like a half an hour. I'm glad I'm born you, Stephen. And you're probably on the cans, and fair play to you. But what can you do? There's a bit of news. I'm doing all right. I'm on 11 minutes for the 5 minute show, and we've given it a limit of 15 now because me and Keith, being saps, called it the 5 minute show, and that's just never ever going to work. Let me see. Benrahma nearly scored a peach. And Mussolini says, great name, by the way. We should look at that Benrahma. Way too good for Brentford. Haven't seen him play, lads. Genuinely. I don't watch championship football a hell of a lot. I know Shawnee does, so I'll ask Shawnee his opinion as well. Not that I'm doubting you, Mussolini, but I'll ask Shawnee because I know he keeps an eye on championship football. For what reason, I don't know. Paulie G just says, go on to champions. I trust Klopp. Great attitude to have. Great attitude to have. I'll always say it because he's in a position as Liverpool Football Club manager, and I'll say it again. He's the biggest thing to ever happen to Liverpool Football Club, in my opinion. And if you can't trust him now, you'll never trust him. And all this FSG and FSG out and all, relax. You know what I mean? There's about bleeding 2 months until the window closes. They've extended it into October, haven't they? So it's all like that. Stephen Mack says he's trying to get back in me good books, and he says, Gav, you never bore me, my man. Never. I crave your content every night. Thanks, Stephen. I'm only buzzing at you. You can say what you want. I've told you this before. Don't call Keith a peanut, though. That's not allowed. Well, deal. He's over it now. He's absolutely all right. But that's about it. I think that's about it. And I think Kev O'Sullivan says ref blows it up. Is it done? Brentford through to the final. Unfortunate for Raheem Brewster, but I'm happy for Brentford into the final. I'm happy for Brentford because he put a heck of a run in, and the timing of promotion for them could be unbelievable because I only found out through Shawnee ahead of news and media. He told me about the new stadium as well that they're moving into the start of next season, which is just unbelievable to have a new stadium, possibly get people into the ground and be in the Premier League. I think it's unbelievable. Keith Plunkett says he's over it. Really, he's over it. The Pino stuff. He's grand now. He's grand. We sent him on a bit of a counselling session, and he's absolutely fine. Listen, I'm going to head, but let me just fill you in on a few bits, right, so you don't forget. So 10 o'clock, which is about 16 minutes time, we are taking over the Football Terrace YouTube channel. Myself, Grizz, Straw was on, Alex from the Cop TV, and another lad that his name has gone completely out of my head, but he's meant to be a terribly nice fella. We're taking that over at 10 o'clock. Please come on, please join in the chat, and please tell those people over there that how good we are, because all them Liverpool fans over there will then come and watch us as well. You know, that's only fair, I think, for doing it for a reduced rate for Terry tonight. I'm only messing, we're doing it for nothing. But please join us at 10 o'clock. Team Talk Radio tomorrow. That's of course Matt Jones and Dave Downey. They have Team Talk Radio, and they have Keith on with them tomorrow at 8 a.m. for 15 minutes. Just a bit of a season preview and transfer talk as well. Keith's going to be joining them. I think they're on Hotmic and stuff like that. But if you follow them at Team Talk Radio, you'll see all the details for that. And tomorrow night, the Transfer Agenda show. Me, Grizz, 10 o'clock. Could go on for an hour, could go on for 2. We don't know, but your input is extremely important. You drive these shows, and I'll say it again, you always have, you always will. You're the most important part of this, and don't let anybody tell you any different. You're very knowledgeable, you have the crack, you know what you're talking about, so make sure you come along and make sure you make your feelings known on transfers, and that will be twice a week right until that window closes, okay? I've been Gav, 14 minutes 51 seconds, boom, before 15 minutes. I'm absolutely fucking delighted. Up the Reds, talk to you in a bit.